We'll talk for about 40 minutes, I think.
That's fine.
So I think we are live. Hello, everyone. I hope you're well. So just going to give it a minute to see who is around this evening, and we'll get people jumping on, and we'll get people saying hello when they come and find us. So how was your day, lovely Fiona? What have you been up to?
My day I've been working, first of all, but I had a little bit of multitasking going on, babysitting my 3-year-old nephew.
Oh, so, lovely.
You know the joy of picking a child up from nursery that doesn't know that you're coming for them.
Aww.
And then he just seen me through the window and he ran out and he gave me a hug, and little kids are just so genuine.
Oh, that's so sweet, isn't it? Hi, Karen. Good evening. Yeah, they just give the most sort of genuine love, don't they? Like, he must have been so surprised to see you. Fantastic.
I mean, I knew I was picking him up. He just didn't know I was picking him up. So
that's lovely.
So little things like that boost your day.
So, guys, just drop us a hello when you come on. Just gonna drop us a message in the comments. Let us know how you're doing this evening. Bit of an impromptu live, just to chat to the lovely Fiona. So just let me know how you're feeling in the comments. I thought it'd be lovely to talk to Fiona because she has been with us for now almost more than 5 months now. How is it? 6 or 7 months now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we did the abundance challenge at the end of January.
At the end of January, yes, it was the end of January. It was going into February, wasn't it? And how did you find me right at the outset? Do you remember? Was it Facebook ad or something?
No, it was through things like Charlie Freak videos.
It was what, sorry?
Through Charlie Freak, but not quite Charlie Freak. It was
Alpha. Oh, okay.
And then you did a circle chat, and from that I started following you, and then you started advertising your abundance challenge really quickly, actually, after I found you.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because I did that round table, didn't I, with Magenta and Charlie Freak and everything. Yeah. Oh, how exciting. How wonderful. And what was it that you thought, oh, okay, there's something here that I want to listen to?
Do you know, 2020, I had done a lot of calming my world down, taking a breath, and it showed me what was totally out of balance. And that out of balance was mostly my job. The frustration around working in corporate, and just the frustration around life. But your message kept appealing to me, and through the abundance challenge, I threw myself into it. I feel like I really went for it through that challenge. And
what was your awakening story before that then? Because if you got to Charlie Freak and people like that, then obviously, you had quite a sort of, did you wake up before COVID or like during COVID, or what happened?
It was very early COVID. I had just come out of an abusive relationship. I was completely all over the place. And then we went into COVID, and I remember watching people around me going a bit crazy, and then kind of getting into that a little bit myself, that little bit of what is going on, right? We better buy hand sanitizer. But really quickly going, no, wait a minute, none of this makes sense. And so March 2020, I just, do you know that it's that thing where you start to vibrate at a certain level, and teachers start to come into your path, and the information just did start to appear in my path.
But would you say the difference is you were seeking it?
Yeah, but I don't think I was completely aware that I was seeking it. But now, looking back, something inside me was screaming like, something's off, everything's off, life is off, my life is off, everything's crazy, there's more to this. And it just kind of opened that box, and down the rabbit holes I went through 2020, through them all. And that's how I found, I even tried to sell my TV because there was no point of the TV on. I was just in YouTube all the time.
Got to get rid of the TV.
Out of the house.
Chuck it out the window. That's the best thing to do with it. My God.
My brain was getting expanded.
Wow. So basically, at the start of Corona, it kind of gave you that space that you needed to just slow down and then look at your own life. And because I think that happened to a lot of people, because a lot of people were running on a treadmill, this hamster wheel that we're told in life. We're sold this false reality that basically you've got to work 9 to 5. You've got to, work hard, play hard. You don't get anywhere unless you work hard. And of course, everything we do in Dharma is get you to kind of, do things completely differently and do things in a relaxed, enjoyable way. So what did life look like when you joined the Abundance Challenge?
So I was working from home full time, single. I was frustrated because I felt like all I was doing was getting up every day and sitting doing the 9 to 5 at a laptop. And
what is it you were doing?
Working in sales as an account director for a healthcare IT company. So I still do have that job, but I don't work 5 days anymore.
Sure.
By finding the Abundance Challenge, it gave me the confidence to really look at things, I think, especially around money and the fear and the attachment I had to money. And with that, you said it, I think it was last night on your masterclass, you said that little ideas just pop into your head and you think, where did they come from? And I had this idea that I wanted to drop a day at work. And that was the start of it, kind of unraveling. So I done the Abundance Challenge. I started looking into this dropping a day. My head was saying, well, you're going to have to drop money if you drop a day. But as I went through the motions of it, I had a company car, and at the same time I had a situation going on around that. And actually dropping a day and coming out of the company car scheme completely changed my tax bracket. So every month I came home with the same amount of money.
Oh, wow. So you were working less and getting the same amount of money.
Yeah. So
you wouldn't have seen that coming either. That must have been a lovely surprise.
And it was so synchronized as well. Both things happened in the same month. So it meant that the next paycheck was the paycheck that was missing 4 or 5 Fridays, but it was the exact same paycheck.
You see, that is just a beautiful example, Fee, of what you can't explain to somebody who goes on this hero's journey, because I could never have seen that coming. You could never have seen that coming. But that is a perfect example when we are true to ourselves and we follow our spirit, how the synchronicities flow and you get beautiful things like that just happen. And you're working less and getting the same.
Yeah, and every now and again, and this has never happened before, my work, we're gifting us money. I was getting gifted like £1,000. I think that happened in March, and then I got another one recently. And they just turn up. But even I said it to my friend the other day, I don't worry about money anymore. It turns up. So I want to do a course next week. It's £100. £100 turned up last weekend. Zero effort went into it.
So let's talk about that. Can we unpack that a little bit? Because I do feel like we've got, a few people that want to come and join us, but they are scared.
Yeah.
And, this is the biggest thing that we have to get over, that we have to invest in ourselves and we have to be true to our hearts and we have to follow those inner nudges. If people are getting signs, synchronicities, feathers, that is their spirit guides telling them, you've got to do this. And short of jumping down and shaking them and going, you've got to do this, which, I mean, if you've seen those memes, they're brilliant. Where the spirit guides are going, oh, she's missed it. She's missed it again.
Here we go around again.
Yeah. Oh, God, what are we going to do this time? So talk to me about how you felt about money before the challenge and then what you understand now, please.
So with part of the Dharma Academy work that we did was the money mindset. And that, I think that was the first program as I joined. That was maybe the first or the second one. And through that, really starting to understand that money is energy. And relaxing a little bit about it. And we wrote our money story, which was really powerful for me because I had this love-hate relationship with money. I blamed money for my dad dying. I blamed money for, and it was I blamed money for my dad dying. Money caused the stress in my household all through growing up, to the point where my dad ended up with a brain tumour and he died. And I blamed it. And he died a week after the trust deeds were handed back. So I know my dad held on to make sure that the debt, that trust deed situation was sealed up so that he didn't die and my mum, when he died, my mum didn't lose the house, and the three of us as teenagers would have been made homeless. So I know my dad really held on in his deathbed because of money. So my attachment and anger at money I really got to see that through the process, but I also got to see that money always turns up.
Yeah, and this is difficult for somebody when they're living hand to mouth and they're scared of it, because I think what you're referring to is the work we do in the academy is we basically get you to look at money as a person, don't we? And we get you to sort of say, if money was a person, how would you feel about money? And like you just said, you blamed that person.
Yeah.
So how do you, because if someone's thinking about investing, but they're worried about doing this, like what would you say to them?
I was the same. I was back in February or end of January when I was thinking about signing up. I was like, I hadn't done the work. Now, it just is there. The money just appears. But it's because my attitude towards it is different, because it's not just money. Resources appear when you need them. And we attach so much to money, but we don't invest in ourselves very much. We would easily go and spend £50 on a pair of trainers.
Well, £37 is like a meal, a month.
How many dresses have you got in your wardrobe with the tags on?
You go to New Look or wherever, and you just, even Mark One, and you buy stuff, easily for that amount of money. But we don't do it.
To weigh it up like that. I started to weigh it up like, this is my mental and spiritual growth here, and I really see this as a big part of my spiritual journey. So am I going to miss this opportunity because of money, or am I going to just reassess the rest of my life and see where maybe if I need to balance books, go balance the books a little bit? And that's how I talk myself into things, and I weigh it up for myself. But now it's not even about balancing the books, because the money's there, but I'm maybe not spending it in other places, but other things are appearing without, it's so hard to describe, I came home to a camp stove on my doorstep the other day. I was going to go and buy one, but somebody gifted me it was brand new, and they gifted me it.
Did you ask for it, or did they just randomly put it on your doorstep?
I was telling people, right, I'm buying camping stuff. I'm going to go to the next level. I'm going to get out in nature.
And I was speaking into existence what you want to happen.
Do somebody said to me that morning, "You've bought the ticket." And I thought, yeah, I have bought the ticket. It might take me 6 months to go and actually do it, but I've bought the ticket, you're right. And in the afternoon, I came home to a black case on my doorstep.
Oh, I've got so many goosebumps. And this is the type of thing that's so difficult to explain to people. Like, it's easy for me to say to some, but like, this is your spiritual journey. Weird, amazing shit happens.
Aloise, it's just reminding me. See, during the Abundance Challenge, I watched her live, and then I walked out my front door. I went to the co-op up the road, and I said to myself, I'm going to get something for free tonight. I got the bananas for free because the scale, I put all my shopping through, and then the scale stopped working, and I kept offering the manager the money for the bananas, and he kept saying, just take them. And I came home, and I had free bananas. And I remember writing it in the challenge group and thinking, folk will think I'm absolutely mental. But it was a little bit of proof to me that this stuff works.
I have so many people say that they then spend the money and then they invest and then the money comes back. But it's one of those things, it's almost like the universe tests us and says, you're lucky if you get the money prior, but often it doesn't work like that. It's kind of like this what I've learned about this spiritual journey is you have to prove yourself. If you're not ready and you don't walk through the door, if someone gives you a door and it's open and you don't walk through it, then you don't get rewarded. But if you walk through the door and you set your intention that you're going to get the money back, or the money's going to come from somewhere else, or the abundance, better to focus on abundance, because as we learned in the challenge, it comes in many ways.
That's been a big mindset shift for me, because at the beginning of 2021, it was money, because money is such a big factor. Now it's not. Money shows up, but other things show up as well. It's friendships, it's random acts of kindness, it is people's time and energy. That all shows up and it changes your world.
And what do you attribute that to?
Changing my mindset, being in here and doing the work, and it's not hard work. That's definitely, it's not. It's because when you're ready for it, I say this all the time, when you're ready for it, the teachers come. And I feel like I remember having this meltdown sort of mid-February and putting it into the Dharma Academy group. No, it would have been the very end of February.
Oh, I remember that, because that was a massive breakthrough, wasn't it?
Oh, I was so frustrated that day. I was so annoyed. I was like,
share it.
Break this box. What am I going to do? What am I getting pushed to do? And I remember posting this in the group and people offering support and help. And I kept meeting coaches. And I was like, there's something in this. I keep meeting the same thing. Like the same thing keeps coming up. And I remember you posting, well, check out Mindful Talent. And I went and I checked them out. And like, it was 2 days later that their enrollment closed. And I just went,
synchronicity again.
Yeah, yep, I'm doing it. And I signed up and I went through the coaching process. But it's that you might not have the money to start with. And I did put that in my credit card. But you know what? The money showed up. I met targets at work. I'm down to 4 days. I'm now working as a coach as well. But the money for the courses showed up. But at the same time, a lot I knew doing all the Dharma work, the shadow work, the inner child work, the money work, all the things that we have done, and then going through the coaching process and doing coaching and growing and changing through that as well. People just keep showing up. Things just keep showing up, so I kind of lost the thread of what that question was.
I think what you're demonstrating is a couple of things there. So you were vulnerable and you asked for help, because that's what our community is about. Like, having a place that you can go where you can have a shit day and you can ask for support, like these guys have seen this week. We go much further when we are together than when we are alone. So you were very brave and you basically shared what was going on for you. But because you shared what you needed, like one of the things that we get into in one of the programs I teach is about asking it as given. If you keep asking the universe, if you ask the universe something free, you're going to get free bananas. You don't know what you're going to get. But if you keep asking for what you want, I need to know what I want my purpose to be. This is intention. I want to live my highest purpose. What is my purpose? You're going to ask and it is going to be given.
Yeah.
And that's what you did.
Well, and the thing was, at the same time we were doing all the visualizations like we did this week, we did the 2-year visualization, but I remember we did a 1-year visualization really early on, and then we done, I don't know, I think it was a 5-year. And I remember, this is my drawing. I don't think you'll probably see it, but this was the drawing. This was the visualization. These houses, this wellness centre, I could visualize the driveway in. I could see the trees. I could see the colour. And I was like, whoa, that's a bit big.
Too big a vision. How are you going to do it?
How is that going to happen? Now I don't ask how, because as the year has progressed, one day at a time, something new has come into my life and it's expanded me a little bit more. It's like starting to do cold water therapy and going into the river.
Yeah, how did that start? Because that's new as well, isn't it?
That was not anywhere at the start of this year, but something around about May time sparked my interest, and then someone locally in June was doing like a breath work and meditation session at the side of the river, and then getting in the river, and I thought, well, it's local, I'll go and try it. That was it. It brings me into alignment. So I do the spiritually dressing every day, but see, getting into that river, it just brings me right in, and it also lets me let go of a lot of things.
I bet. And
just being in that place. And people say to me, you don't post pictures of yourself in the river. I'm like, because I don't take my phone in. I go there. I'll take nice pictures of being there, but not in the river. When I'm in the river, I am breathing, I am letting go, and I'm being in alignment. And I come out and I'm ready. I'm set for the day. But it's even there, starting to do that. The people that I've met, the teachers that I've met that are keeping me going to the next level. You know, even this weekend, if I go camping, it's with someone that I've been at the river with, who's been teaching me breathing. All of these new.
So it's almost like you've got a whole new circle of more awakened, enlightened beings going the direction you want to go.
Yeah, they're so awake, and they don't participate in any of the BS that's out there. They laugh, we talk about spirituality, we talk about so much, and it's the stuff that, that we do here.
So in relation to how alive you feel, like if you think about where you were at Christmas to where you are now, like what is the difference between you before you started and now? Say, where are we? Say if it's January, so we're like 6 months in.
Yeah. Oh, night and day. Complete night and day. I think in January I was probably showing up with that bubbly, happy,
face, like pretending.
Everything's fine, but actually it's not. It's a bit crap. Now, doing all the work that we do, and then all the work that I've been doing on top of that, I genuinely feel calm, happy, peace, excited about life. It's like a kind of bliss state sometimes.
Fantastic. It's like what's going to happen next? Like what crazy shit is going to happen next?
Bring it.
But it is just so, like, it's very difficult to explain to people the type of stuff that happens when you are in alignment. It is, you would kind of pinch yourself and go, how is that even possible? Fiona, I could tell you what has happened to me in the last week, and you actually wouldn't. You'd believe me.
I would believe you.
You would believe me. But, I've had my past lives coming into this lifetime. And I've been having past life stuff that I've been needing to clear in this lifetime coming up for me to clear. And it's just mind blowing. It's just totally mind blowing, but totally fascinating at the same time to think my soul has had a life. I've had a very briefly, I don't want to deflect it, but just to share a little bit. Basically, I had a pattern of betrayal, which I had been betrayed in past lifetimes. And now I understand that I can clear it before it even happens in this lifetime. But I had an example of something come up this last week, which triggered it. But because I understand this stuff now, I can clear it all out before it actually manifests. Because we are living our past life karma, basically.
Well, I've had 2 Akashic Record readings with you, and the stuff that came up there for me, this lifetime was definitely a repeating and breaking lifetime, thankfully. But the nice thing about doing all this work is you can see other folks' stuff. Instead of reacting to other people's stuff, you can take a step back and see that it's theirs. And that's what I like, because exactly that, Aloise, I had a situation yesterday and my instincts was, oh my goodness, that person doesn't trust me. And as the day went on, I thought, do you know what? No. If they don't trust me, I don't need to prove to them that they should trust me. I've done that. I've been there. I've been in relationships where I need to prove myself all the time. That's their thing.
Nice.
And I was able to, it knocked me for a few hours, to be honest, but no.
But you can bring yourself back. You don't get lost in it like you would have done before.
That's their problem. If they have trust issues, that's not mine. My issue was how I reacted. Did I react well? Did I react like I used to react? No, I didn't. I did have some feelings of I'm not good enough, or I want people to like me. I want people.
And can you see now that how you were being when in your past life was attracting those situations and those people? Can you just talk about that for a little bit? Because I think that's the journey that we take people on in Dharma, is that we help you peel back the layers so you evolve, so you vibrate higher, so that your reality shifts. But can you just explain to someone who's, maybe they are attracting difficult circumstances, why is it that they need to change? It's not the world.
Everything that happens to us is a reflection of ourselves. And that is what I've done a lot of learning on. It's hard to I keep saying it's hard to explain. It is hard to explain until you start doing the work for yourself and get your understanding. But your mindset, your past, I loved my Akashic Record readings because it really did actually help me understand what was constantly going on in my head. And I remember the first one, and you said you have got 12 negative thought patterns going on. I thought, okay, right, okay. And when you started to tell me what they were, it's right next to me actually, because it's in this book.
I was going to say, I hope you can remember, because I haven't got a clue.
I remember it's in this book, and we did it in May actually. This one, there was 12 negative thought patterns, and they were fear, guilt, worry, self-doubt, anxiety, self-criticism, anger, rejection, depression, lack, loss, and shame. And when I really sat back and thought about that, and thought about the money worries, the people pleasing, the feeling guilty, the worry, depression, all of the kinds of things that I've been through in this lifetime, it totally made sense. That was the patterns, that was taking up 50% of my time. But other things like the domestic abuse situation, narcissistic abuse, that all came up, through the Akashic Records readings. I think there was like 3 or 4 lifetimes of abusive relationships. There was a 20% soul loss. So I just kind of felt in this lifetime that I was always trying to please people and get on with something, but then always being a bit scared to everybody and not letting people too close as well. And I'm terrible at relationships, definitely. But since doing all this work and learning all this, well, it's up to me to make the change, to break the cycle. And that is what I'm working on now. So every day, I take care of myself first. I go out into the world and I just live the virtues as much as possible. But when I take a reaction to something, ask myself, is it mine or is it theirs?
Nice.
And I need to split that. The reaction that I've had is mine, but somebody else's stuff, it's pulling that apart from myself to keep myself balanced. And it's a beautiful journey.
It is the most amazing journey that we could ever take. It really is. And what you just described there is we come in from past lives broken, and then we come in as pure little babies, but then we get conditioned through society, through our families, through you name it. And then we're broken again, because usually we have some type of trauma, abuse, or something that happens to us. And then it's this journey back to wholeness. And what you're describing there is you're peeling back all these layers of this stuff that you've collected. And underneath is this you that you're now really enjoying. And life is showing you it. It's reflecting it back to you.
I absolutely love life. I know that there's still a lot to do. I know that I'm not in a job that I'm over the moon about. But do you know what? It's paying the bills for now. I'm not having to do it 5 days like I was before. I have a lot more control.
You're building your coaching practice on the side, which is perfect. You've got stability. Yeah. And Rome is not built in a day. Right? Like, you know, like, I think it's very important that people realize that this is a journey about peeling back the layers, and it's not like you can go from A to B like bang. And that's half the fun of it. You just need to recognize it's in a journey, enjoy the ride.
But it's not just about the external stuff. It's not just about the job, the money, the car, the house. You know, I believe now that stuff will just show up. And I'm also okay with actually asking for what I want and not being like feeling like I'm okay about asking for 10 grand for something. No. Ask for what you want, and if it comes, it comes. But it's the internal stuff. That's where the magic is. It's the inner peace, the calm, knowing yourself, knowing what you like, being okay with setting new boundaries.
And also having the gumption, or like, you know, to go after what you want, not playing the victim, and not just going, oh, that's for everybody else and not for me. Like, you know, I don't like seeing people hit rock bottom, you know, but we have to take the matter into our own hands and, you know, go for it when we see an opportunity that can support us.
Absolutely. And it's that saying yes. And I was reading a book recently called U Squared, and I'm sure in there it said, you think about taking the jump and you think about the landing, but you don't think about the bit in between. That's the bit where you kind of free fall and probably enjoy, and then you land, and then you might think about that free fall. So it's letting go of the how am I going to get it? When's it going to happen? And just say, does this feel like it's a good idea? Yeah.
Trusting it.
Let's go for it and see where it ends up.
And how instrumental has the Academy been in kind of having your back and having a place you can go to, like, or having support, or just, you know, what has it added to your journey?
Oh, so much. I would not be where I am now if I had not signed up for that abundance challenge and then signed up to the Academy back in January. I would not be in this place. It feels like it's like been warp speed. I feel like I've been here for years because everybody's so friendly and everybody, you know, and you connect with so many people, and there's so many people that you've got lots of things in common. Beautiful thing is everybody's on the same wavelength. But I feel like I've been here for years, not just
months. Well, I remember you and I like did your session, and I think I was like talking to you, and I was like, I cannot believe, because obviously we look at where you are in your spiritual evolutionary process. I was like, that is so bloody quick. Like, you've literally gone through your process in 5-6 months, which, you know, which gives me so much hope, actually, because, you know, if you think for me, I know that's taken me 18 years and you've done it in like 6 months. But that's how this works. Well, it does help, you know, that's how it works when you understand it, when we've got conscious knowledge of it.
But it's also making that commitment to yourself to doing it. You know, you can sign up to it, and I don't know, I've signed up to things in the past and I've kind of got partway through and I go, I'll just leave it. The nice thing about the Academy has been that the lessons come at a nice pace and is supported with the calls and the meditations. So there's lots of support to keep you engaged. And then when you kind of maybe do fall back or behind, you're not behind. You're where you're
right where you need to be. Yeah.
And you're not missing anything. You can watch the calls on replay and you can catch up with the lessons when you've got time. You know, so you never are really missing or behind. It's just a really beautiful, supportive community, and the friendships that I've made through it. You know, I've had distance Reiki healing and trauma release sessions. I've been case studies for people. They've been my case studies. These sort of like this knowledge sharing and friendships, and every now and again somebody will drop you a little private message, just say, hi, how you doing? And that is so nice, you know, just genuine
made friendship.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. And I think, you know, it's just so nice to have that supportive environment. I think one of the things I really try to, you know, we've been taught of as humans that, you know, we kind of get behind and then we get worried and, you know, just trust everything is divine and perfect. And, you know, you're right where you need to be. And I think I have to say, you have done fantastically well. Like one of the things I really want to acknowledge you for is you show up. You know, you throw 150% into what you're doing. And I think that is the secret to why you've gone so fast. And there is no hard or fast rules. Everyone will go at the pace that they need to go. But I just want to acknowledge you because I can see you are really getting it, you know, and you're thriving. And then it gets addictive, doesn't it? Because it's like, I want more of this.
I want more. I want more. What's the next bit? What's the next bit? Take me to the next level. And that's kind of, I say that a lot, like, what's the next bit? What's the next bit? But it comes, I have to tell myself to slow down sometimes. I also have to remind myself, you actually only start this properly this year. So you have kind of done a lot in a short space of time. So it's okay to slow down a little bit. But the community itself is such a high vibrational place that you naturally just take that energy on and you kind of just go through your day in that vibration. And then when you're outside and meeting people, you attract then the people that are at that vibration. And that, I think, is quite hard to explain I find that hard to explain to like my mum and my sister because they're not in this place.
But you explained it really well then. That makes a lot of sense. You know, if
I meet people that are totally in my, like, we're on the same wavelength and we get what we're talking about. And I remember my friend saying to me, how do you actually meet these people though? Just kind of come at me. I don't know the answer. Stuff just comes.
It's called frequency, and your frequency matches those people, so they'll come into your life. Yeah, you can't really explain that to a newbie, can you?
It's like stuff, it just kind of arrives.
Yeah, amazing. So what would you say, just to finish off, what would you say to anybody out there who's watching and listening and they're nervous and they want to join, but, you know, they are worried about their money stuff, they're worried about time, all of that stuff, all that devil stuff that is probably coming up right now?
Yeah. Time, I would definitely say you have all the time in the world to do it. And when we go through the lessons and the calls and the replay, you can do all of that in the time that you have. And the lessons are not, I mean, I love sitting watching you on a Monday morning, like giving us our lesson, you know, but they're never that long. You're maybe 20, 30 minutes max. There might be a little bit of homework, but it's mostly going through your day type homework. So it kind of builds itself in. So time is not actually a barrier to doing it. Money, well, do you know what? Come and do the program. Come and do it because you'll learn that money's energy. And making an investment in yourself is a much healthier thing to do than, I don't know,
smoke, drink.
Like, how much do you spend in the pub? And I don't think a lot of folk that are watching this probably go to the pub that much. But look at your life. Look at what doesn't serve you. And have a wee look at how important you are. If you don't think you're that important, then you'll not do it. But if you're ready to invest in yourself that little bit every month, it'll be so worth it. So worth it. I know that I feel it's hard to describe. I feel alive. I feel grateful that I found you, and I'm glad that I made the investment in myself every month. I truly am.
Well, you've done brilliantly. You've done superb. And I'm just so excited. And I think this is the thing is you know, now you've got your vision. That vision will just keep evolving and expanding. You know, like you said, vision that you first create feels big and feels scary. And, you know, as you go along, you know, that vision will get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it will get, you know, already has, I'm sure.
Yeah, there was a 2-year visualization the other day, and through that, I got my 2-year stuff. I got my 5-year stuff, and then I got a 10-year plan. And I thought, well, let's see.
That's my girl. You know, and you'll be standing in it. You know, you'll stand in it very quickly, and you know, it's amazing how quickly you can stand in it, and you go, oh my God, this is what I wrote, my ideal day, and I'm doing it.
Yep.
you know, and it doesn't take long if you commit and show up, you know. And actually I wanted to tell people, I have had a few people message me to say they're waiting for payday. So what I'm going to do is the meditation that we were going to do on Thursday for people that sign up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do it the following Monday. So that is the date of the 27th of September. We're going to move that bonus. So if you sign up before the 27th, then you'll get to do the meditation. And what we're going to be doing, Fiona, is we're going to do the meditation visualization to our futures in the beginning, the first half an hour. And then everyone's going to go into little Zoom rooms and they're going to share with their partners their visions.
Perfect.
And you've done this with me before, haven't you?
I love this, Sharon. Yeah.
And it's so powerful because if you think about the vibration, the frequency formula, words spoken, actions taken, behaviors, you know, you are not only visualizing it, which is a positive action, you are talking it, abracadabra, you're speaking it into existence. And the more you do that, the more you hold it in your frequency and the quicker it manifests.
Yep.
So yeah, exciting.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, but thank you so much. You are a natural. Trisha's saying, beautiful journey. You've got lots of lovely comments. You are a natural to listen to. And I would totally agree with that. And I think, you know, I'm just excited to see where you end up. Like, this is the beautiful thing, you know, where people...
It's just a start.
It is absolutely just the start. And I think, you know, again, for people listening, sometimes you've just got to leap. You know, we're taught that what we have to wait until everything's there for us, but it's almost like a little bit of a test. You know, you got to trust. The universe is saying trust and have faith. And if something feels right in your heart, and that's not wrong, you know. And like you said, you know, even the £3,000 you spent on the coaching course or however much it cost, you know, that money shows back up. But sometimes you've got to invest it first, you know.
Yeah. I was just lucky that I was able to put it in a credit card. And even that, being grateful for those kinds of resources. When you're angry at money, you don't see that as a good thing. But then when you're taking a leap of faith, it was there. The resource was there. And then the money showed up and it cleared it.
Yeah. And as long as you're responsible with it, which by the sounds of things you were, you know. So, and it's not like you're blowing it on shoes. You know, you're investing in your future. So
the last pair of shoes I bought was a set of Crocs for getting into the river. You know, my life.
Even investing in your shoes now. Oh, Fiona, you're a star. Thank you so much. We love you lots. We're very proud of you. You're doing a brilliant job. I'm excited to see how it all unfolds. And now we're doing Dharma, which is like my favorite thing to do. So yeah, we will see you in the group. But thank you. I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
So guys, we're going to, somebody's just said if they cut out their daily latte, £3, that is the money just there. Wow. That is very wise. Whoever just said that. I'm sorry, I can't see because it didn't come up, but that's the way to look at it. You know, you kind of, you're investing in yourself rather than spending it on, you're frittering it away basically.
I think that's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's the kind of things that I was starting to look at. So
yeah. And it's also, what happens is you get out of scarcity because like you said, when you come on our calls and it's very high vibration and it's very kind of, you know, you put yourself in a different space, your frequency shifts, which attracts different people and different opportunities. So very exciting. Thank you, darling. Love you lots.
See you.
Yeah, guys, nice to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm going to do another interview tomorrow night with the lovely Tina. Hear it for Tina. I'm sure, Tina, you have to ever think, Tina, about your crazy stories as well. Because I'm sure you've had some great crazy stories you can share with us tomorrow night as well. And then where are we? It's Tuesday tonight. So Tina's going to talk to us tomorrow. And then Thursday night, I'm probably going to get the lovely Leah to talk to us. So there's lots of things. So keep coming back, guys. We're going to be doing some really lovely interviews this week. So you guys can hear a little bit more about the Academy and what we do. And then don't forget, tonight, the bonus finishes at 9 p.m. UK time. So if you do want to join us and you want to get the virtues, which is a powerful 8 8-module program, then you please do that before 9 o'clock tonight and you will get your 24-hour bonus. And then the next bonus is this meditation, which is the following Monday. So guys, have a fantastic evening. I'm going to love you and leave you, and I will see you soon. Bye.